You are watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the December 3rd meeting of the Michigan City Human Rights Commission. You can find more information for this meeting at www.accesslaportecounty.org.
It is 4:33. I'll call the December 3rd meeting of the Human Rights Commission to order. We'll start with roll call. Albertine Allen, Sojourner Atwater, Darrell Borton.
Here.
Pastor Carroll, Marty Corley, Bonnie Demke. Here. Diana Gore, Jamie Lorenz. Here. Jessica O'Brien, I'm here. Mary Ellen Quinn, and Tyra Robinson Walker. We do not have a quorum today, so we'll have just a big conversation. We have a few folks with us in a formal meeting. We have Tanisha George Clark, is that the right word? Clark George, from the Human Resources Department, and we have Councilman Don Prespolinski, our liaison to the City Council. Do you want to, for the record, talk about what our Finance Committee meeting was about? Funny. We can't take a vote on it, but just to have it on record.
We're not following an agenda, or is...
We can't approve anything on the agenda.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the Finance Committee met today at 4:45, and I presented a request for the Human Rights Commission to approve a donation to the new Fetters Alley all-inclusive park and Fetters Alley all-inclusive playground and fitness park, which will start construction next year, but they still are short of the goal needed, so I think it would be a worthy cause for the Human Rights Commission to contribute to. And this was approved.
It was approved by the Finance Committee, and since we don't have a quorum, it will be brought to the full commission at our January 7th meeting.
Thank you.
2025.
For help with that.
Also, we were supposed to have an election of officers for 2025 at this meeting, but since we don't have a quorum, that also will be pushed to our January 7th meeting with the help of Tanisha to coordinate that election.
I did have one comment about, I saw your slate of officers, and I noticed that you are, you're going to have a secretary, which kind of makes sense, but you do need 2 people on the executive committee. So will the secretary also serve on the executive committee along?
Currently, we have 2 officers in addition to the secretary.
You're supposed to have a chair, vice chair. So on the executive committee is the chair, the vice chair, the treasurer, and then 2 commissioners. So, and 2 additional commissioners. So basically a group of 5. So since Ms. Lawrence is going to be the secretary, I was wondering, would she just be the additional other member of the executive committee, since Marty is going to be, he's the additional commissioner, so would she also serve as the additional commissioner to kind of firm up that makeup of the executive committee?
Is that 5?
Yeah, it would be the chair, the vice chair, and then the treasurer, and then 2 additional commissioners. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ms. Moldenhauer.
It's been a while.
Okay.
I wasn't on the nominating committee, so.
The chair, the vice chair, and then there were 2 additionals.
Yeah, so since she's going to serve as the secretary, will she also serve as the additional member of the executive committee is my question. Because according to the bylaws, you have to have 2 additional commissioners along with the chair, the vice chair, and the treasurer. The secretary is basically, it sounds like something that you guys felt you needed, so you created, but it's not in the
part of the bylaws.
Yeah, it's not part of the bylaws.
I wasn't part of the nominating committee, so I wasn't part of those conversations, but that's something that we can, do we have to formally,
No?
but that we can just put it out at the next meeting?
Yeah, it'd be
So this is
something.
the slate, okay.
Unless you want to add an additional commissioner to the executive committee. But I mean, it would make sense since she's going to be an officer, she would just be the other person in that seat.
I would say just leave her on there.
Yeah. I'm fine with that.
I'm on the executive committee this year. Yeah, just step between. Okay, I just wanted to bring that to your
Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah.
And who will be the other executive member, Marty?
I think according to the slate, it was was Marty.
Marty, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Marty was the other additional person. And then Pastor Carroll would be the liaison to the social status. Mary Ellen would be the vice chair. Mr. Borden would be the chair. And then Ms. Demke would remain as treasurer. So that would be all of the officers, quote unquote, officers for the commission.
Okay.
I just want that clarification.
Which will be the slate presented then in January. Great. Is there anything else for our informal conversation? Any commissioner comments?
Doing the Pledge of Allegiance starting January.
That would have to be tabled until
January, I know.
another table item.
Mr. Bolton did point out that most city commissions start their meetings with the Pledge of Allegiance and would like to change ours. So that we voted on then in the January meeting.
And also, I didn't send it out, but I did do a January agenda. Since we no longer have a attorney, I added council report on there. Where if Don's our liaison, if he wants to give a report about the council, anything the council might need or is doing, it gives him a chance to do a council report to us.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's the commission's agenda, so they can.
Yeah.
What happened to the attorney?
He died.
He passed away.
No, I know that. I know
And
that.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with that as far as the budget goes. I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean,
From what I heard,
is one
we did.
coming on board to replace Larry, or?
No.
It was our understanding that because we don't approve we don't have anything to do with the claims, I forget the term for it.
The EOC
The
claims.
EOC claims that
We don't
really
need an
didn't
attorney.
need an attorney.
Oh, okay.
And I think they were trying to slim the budget down. That was
Okay.
my
Makes
understanding.
sense. But Larry was a blessing. Are there any other commissioner comments? I sadly wanted to present this to the full commission. I'll pass this note along to when I'm done, but I'll be resigning from the Human Rights Commission. Based on my address, I'm not eligible to serve on this commission anymore because I'll be outside of the city limits, but it's been a pleasure to serve with all of you, and I'm a friend of the Human Rights Commission, so if you need a volunteer, please let me know. I addressed this to Tyra as a vice chair, but I will pass this along to you, my official resignation, once this meeting is over. We have Nancy Moldenauer from the public. Did you want to add any public comments?
Well, you asked me to be here today, so that's why I'm here today. After driving for 16 hours and 2 days, I'm here. So anyhow, there was, I'll just call it a rumor at this point, that there were flyers passed out in Michigan City by the White Knights of the KKK that specifically were addressing, they called them illegal aliens, and they advised them to leave before the first of the year so they wouldn't be deported. And I know that Michigan City has always been a welcoming community and also against hate, so I wanted to bring this to your attention. The news media actually got it incorrect. The flyers were not
Could
distributed.
you speak up just a little bit, please?
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna need to start here.
The news media.
The news media got this incorrect and stated that the flyers were distributed in Michigan City. But if it was the intent of the KKK, their courier never made it over here. I checked with the mayor, I checked with Marty Corley, the mayor's office, the police department, and nobody had reported anything here in Michigan City. So I don't think it happened here, but it did happen in South Bend, which is, pretty close to us. And then the communities east of there, I'm not sure if it was Goshen or if it was Granger, but one of them also got leafleted also. Okay, so they were just put on yards, stuck on cars, just randomly put about. But I thought this commission should know about this because I think we can see an uptick in this kind of activity probably going into 2025. I should also add that the figures that were drawn on the flyer specifically were Muslims. So, and we know that they've been targeted in the past, as a community that certain people feel like they come here. So anyhow, I thought you should know about that. And I was actually contacted by a resident here in Michigan City that was very concerned and wanted to get to the bottom of it. So anyhow, Indiana does have a pretty active hate crime groups, I should say. And I think the last time I looked, there were about 10 statewide, but I'll have to say I haven't looked probably for a couple of years. So just like an FYI, be aware. And if you do see something like this happening, for sure, contact the mayor's office. And also Marty Corley, who serves on this commission, who's chief of police, so they can investigate it further. So, any questions about that?
And if anyone from the community wants to see a list of the active hate groups, I think that the Southern Law.
The Southern Poverty Law
Yes.
Center, in fact, I was there just last week and visited there. And so I brought back a brochure if people would be interested in looking at that. They keep it a very active list by the name of the group, where they're located, and there's also a United States map. So you can pinpoint exactly where those groups are at. To my awareness, there was one like up in northeastern Indiana.
Yeah.
So, but I also learned that the White Knights are pretty much statewide in Indiana and a very active group at that. So,
Are these groups registered, do they register somewhere, and how do they become a group that the public is aware of? How do we know it's factual, I guess is what
I don't know if they go for nonprofit status. That could be a possibility.
how does the Southern Poverty Law Center identify these?
People report to them activity in the area that's going on.
By an age group?
Whether it be a cross burning, or it be
Oh.
distribution of leaflets like this, or it could be verbal abuse against
And these
individuals.
groups generally identify themselves, I mean, they want credit for these acts?
Obviously, they wanted credit for it because they were printed in the media.
Social media now, social media has become a highway of hate, I guess would be a good phrase for it. Yeah.
Yeah, and also too, I picked up buttons for everybody, so if you'd like to take one of those came from the Southern Poverty Law Center. And they have a wall of tolerance there that people have signed on that they're against hate. If you visit there and you're moved by the work they're doing, then you can sign on there. And they have a continuous wall of names that just keep, moving forward, and there's millions of people at this point that have signed that wall of tolerance.
See, just like you never left.
I can't get away from that.
Do we actually have to have an election since there's only one person running for each office?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay,
the bylaw.
I didn't know if that's how it works.
Are there any other public comments? Thank you, Nancy, so much. It's good to have that information. Okay, if there's nothing else to add. We are adjourned. Thank you. Appreciate you coming. Happy holidays.
Good job, Jessica.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for serving.